Hey guys, it's Judy, and I'm here again to do a card process video with the Greeting Farm stamps. And I am using Anya Lifts, and she is just so adorable, and she is a pretty large stamp. And I am creating a birthday card for my niece, and the card is a regular A2 size card, and it is taking an 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock, cutting it at 5.5 and scoring at 4.25. And then the image fits perfectly for the card. So I am actually going to stamp it on a white piece of cardstock that is cut at 5.25 by 4, which is just a 1/4 inch less than the actual card base. So now I'm just laying it out and trying to think where I'm going to put the sentiment as well, or if there's room. And you see the bottom right corner, there's like a nice space to do that. But I'm inking it up, the stamp, and it's really nice quality rubber stamps. I'm inking it up with Memento Tuxedo Black because I will be doing Copic coloring, and that type of ink is perfect. It won't smudge because it's quick drying, so it won't smudge or smear when you use the Copic markers. So right now I'm thinking about what I want to do, and I'm actually going to do some masking because I want to add a background to the image itself. So I'm just taking a post-it note and cutting out as close as I can to the image, because whenever you do masking, you always want to stamp the forefront, whatever's going to be in the front first. You stamp that down first, and then you cover it up. And I have like a cloud stamp that I want to use for the background. So I realized my post-it wasn't large enough, so I kind of did a little half and a half. So next time, use one of those larger post-it notes, or they have like specific masking paper that you can use as well. But post-it notes are cheaper and fine. And that other stamp set I'm using for the background is actually an October Afternoon stamp set that was given to me by Sherry from Scrappin' and Rappin'. So I was so happy to be able to use it on this card. And I thought, since she's holding balloons, I thought clouds would be wonderful. I'm using my Misty as well, just because I want to make sure I get the right impression, because I will be embossing it. So you'll see I put Versamark stamp pad, which is just some stickiness to it. And I'm using some silver fine detailed embossing powder, and I love using fine detail because it really picks up every, like for sentiments, or even here, every little detail it does pick up. So you see I did the embossing, and then I took my mask off. So I'm just looking at the little areas that I might have missed some of the embossing, and I'm just doing a heat emboss. So I just figured silver lining and clouds, right? And next I start Copic coloring. So my go-to coloring colors for the face are E50 and E53. So I always do a nice layer of the lightest shade, E50, and then I go in with the E53 for the shadows, just to have that little contrast, and then I go back in with the lighter E50 to blend it, so there's no like clear definite line that you see, so it looks nice and blended and more natural. And then for the hair color, I am using W5, W7, and W9. Those are the warm grays. And I usually use the C's, the cool grays, I think, for hair, but I used it so much I ran out. So I like to just kind of do a little test of the colors. And then here I'm laying down first just the darker colors, just to kind of feel where my highlights are. Then right up next to it, I use the middle color, and then I go in and do my light color. And then I go back to middle and then dark. Like I reverse it. So dark, medium, light, light, dark, medium. I mean light, medium, dark. Yes, I just got confused myself. But anyway, I like doing hair in chunks because, like sections, not chunks, sections, because then that way it doesn't allow the ink to dry up too much if you work on one area and then another. So it won't blend as well if it's already dried. But then for the bottom part of her hair, I did curly hair. So all I did was like little circles around. Same thing, I just circles around. And you'll see that that color is the black, I think I used, just to add more definition. And I don't know, yeah, there's that white gap there, but that's a hair clip, a heart hair clip that she has, so I didn't miss any hair. But there you go. And then I am going to, I guess, do the hair clip, which is, well, I'm trying to decide what colors to use, like for her dress and her shirt. So I'm thinking pink. And I'm trying, this is what I do when I don't know what colors to use, or my colors aren't necessarily all in order like every other number in the set. So definitely just try it out on like the same type of paper, because different papers kind of absorb differently or blend differently. So I just tried to find the best combination, or the one that looked the nicest without looking too much of a contrast. So those are the colors I chose. I did the darker, usually with the darker color, I just follow whatever the drawing lines are or the stamp lines are, because that's usually a good idea of how the shadows are working, or where the creases and folds are. That's where you're going to have the darker areas. And then for the shorts, I just do like the jean color, which is not, what is it? The blues 95 and 97, I believe. And then I'm moving on to her boots. I'm using, I believe it's E55, and E57 is darker color. So I just did the lighter shade, then I did the darker shade for the shadows, and then I went back in with the lighter shade. Because it's a smaller area, I just need like 2 colors. No need to go 3 colors. And for that, I just used the 1 color for the little bow. So balloons, there's so much surface area. I kind of did the lighter first and then a slightly darker just for the shadows. Because you know how the usually reflects right, right at that one area. But then I did the darker just because the balloons were on top of each other. So like the first balloon, the uncolored one right now would cast a shadow on the other 2. So just kind of creating the lighter effect and the dark effect. And then next, I love with girls, I just love putting the eyeshadow color, and like for the cheeks and the lips, I do the eyeshadow to kind of match whatever she's wearing. And then now I'm just going to use the mask again, because I'm going to color in the clouds with this blue using a finger dauber, and kind of general swirl around. And I like to tap off the excess on a scratch piece of paper, because or else it gets too blotchy or too dark. And then I'm going to also do some green, just to kind of give the image of the grass, because I don't want her just floating on the card with the balloons. I wanted to make some sort of a scene, and do the bottom, ground her with the grass, and then the sky background. And then that sentiment is sending you happy blessings. And that sentiment is actually from Anya Celebrates. So I like to mix and match. Sometimes, sentiments from one stamp are appropriate for another stamp. So they're really versatile and they go really well together. So that's Anya Lifts and the sentiment from Anya Celebrates. So thank you so much for watching. Of course, I had to add more Wink of Stella to all the balloons and her heart bow and everywhere. So definitely check out the Greeting Farm stamps, because they are an awesome stamp company with super cute images. Thanks for watching.